Are Centaurs any good? To me, Centaurs are one of the defining units of the Beastmen, but I didn't understand how they were working in the current environment as in patch 3.1 until trying them for myself. So, what are they? How do they really work in practice? Let's dig in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and consider donating to my Ko-fi page. I'm talkative and friendly, so keep the feedback coming. Thanks. Centaurs are considered very fast, clocking in at a speed of 84, and have Vanguard deployment, making them eligible for a rush strategy. On Ultra, they have 60 models with 6720 health between them, boasting armor of 35 with shields that par 30% of missile attacks. I mean, this is okay, but it's not going to win any awards. The speed will, by the way. Leadership is 60, and that's all we can expect. Melee attack is 24, which is pretty bad, with an attack interval of 4.6, which is also pretty okay. It's not great, but it's actually pretty normal for cavalry. Interestingly, the datamine stats say that max splash damage is 5 targets. Let's keep that in a corner of our minds. Melee defense is 28 base, and I've seen worse, so it's not abysmal. Weapon strength is 32, with 25 base damage and 7 armor piercing. This is what tells us a lot about how this unit is intended to be used. Also relevant is the charge bonus of 42, and the mass is 950. Essentially, what we're being told by the stats is something like this. Centaurs are light, fast, shock cavalry, without rubbing it in our faces. In other words, prolonged melee is death for them. There's no two ways about it. Also, they're heavily slanted toward the annihilation of lightly armored troops. The Beastmen have other options that hail from other factions originally, namely Harpies and Chaos Warhounds, but I'm leaving those for later because they're not that important right now, and because they're not purely Beastmen units whatsoever. The Centaurs certainly are. More importantly, the Centaurs take what those units do and do it bigger and better, albeit bigger means that they're extremely vulnerable to even basic Empire Spearmen, let alone Halberdiers, as good examples. So we know what can kill Centaurs. It's a long list. We know that they're not stay and fight monsters like Minotaurs, pun semi-intended. So yeah, shock cavalry. They go in, they brutalize the less armored, they get out, they turn around and do it again. At least that's the ideal. This is where the hooves hit the paved stones. Patch 3.1 made it easier for cavalry to pull out, and even without that, shouldn't Centaurs be utter death to things like archers? For better or worse, this footage shows how I'm trying to use them in testing. And this of course is skirmish, so no campaign buffs are present. All the same, even far lesser light cavalry are good for my greedy hands when it comes to taking out missile units and rear-charging engaged lines. I'll do it with Wolf Riders, and they're as mangy as it gets. Now, unlike Minotaurs, Centaurs do have Primal Fury, which means that 24 melee attack becomes 29. Speed is given a 10% boost, and so does charge bonus, which raises speed to 92 rounded down, and charge bonus to 46 rounded down. 92 speed is really up there. Centaurs specifically also benefit from Rowdy, a feature that jacks up leadership by 4 and grants perfect vigor. I've ranted and raved about perfect vigor before, so here it means this. Charging and trampling will not tire your Centaurs. So long as they're not caught and destroyed, they will never slow, they will never relent. Also, these are woodsman units that phase through trees specifically. They can hide in forest also. Oh, but how does it get better? Well, let's see. Like the chariots, Leader of the Raucous Host gives a maximum of plus 12% speed, plus 12% weapon strength, and plus 12 not percent but flat number charge bonus. Still with me? That's 103 speed rounded down, 36 weapon strength, and 58 charge bonus, again assuming Primal Fury is up. That's more shock on the charge. What about Creatures of the Herd? At rank 7, that's 10% more speed. Are these multiplicative? I think so, but assume yes. Plus 12 charge bonus, which is flat again, and 15% missile resistance, which helps the Centaurs get into melee. So that's 113 speed and 70 charge bonus? Wait, 70 charge bonus? That's almost entry-level Chaos Knights with Lances level. Wait, Unnatural Order in the Challenges of the Dark Gods gives 10% more charge bonus? Vitriolic Temperament gives plus 5 to melee attack and plus 4 to melee defense for them as well? So what, that's 77 charge bonus? So yeah, considering that they do get some bonuses just for rising in rank, you get to the point where Centaurs can become pretty powerful as shock light cavalry, and more competent when fighting in melee against an opponent sufficiently weakened. The point being, the Centaurs get from fast to blindingly fast, and I've often said how speed buffs are rare in Warhammer 3, period. To get so much buffing on top of a pretty strong base number, the Centaurs can greatly increase the efficiency in getting into the back of the foe, on top of Vanguard deployment, of course. So, what are your preferred targets? Well, any kind of squishy artillery has to be number one. Past that, you want any kind of mushy archer unit, followed by any kind of light infantry that isn't anti-large, followed by, any targets of opportunity. These Centaurs will never be good against armored opponents. However, I will go back to the high number of splash damage targets. I'm not used to seeing any splash damage for an actual cavalry. No, their damage isn't sky high and it still gets tilted toward base damage, but this is a true, competent, anti-chaff fast cavalry unit. It's the natural foe of orc and goblin laborers, skaven slaves, zombies, and skeleton swordsman style units. Considering that Razor Gore chariots exist, you want to focus those on the resistant foes, and send Centaurs to annihilate lighter opponents. Speed is life for them, and their mass is high enough to give you a hope of trampling just enough and moving on to the next target. The rest is up to micro and luck, but a chance is better than none, and against the right opponent, the dice are weighted in your favor. I hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the base Centaurs. I don't think they're at all the easiest cavalry to use due to general fragility, but remember physics. It's not just mass that factors into momentum, it's speed, and these have a lot of it. Try them, find out how far you can take them. Take care and have fun trampling your way to victory.